Shame is a heavy cloak that wraps itself around you, smothering your confidence and self-worth. It is only by shedding it that we can fully embrace who we are and the beauty of imperfection that makes us human. In the quietest moments of our lives, the voice of shame whispers the loudest. It speaks of past mistakes, perceived failures, and the fear that we'll never be enough. But it is only a voice, not the truth of who we are. The weight of shame is suffocating, but remember, it is not your burden to carry alone. It's a story from the past, not a sentence for the future. You are not defined by your shame, only by the strength it takes to move beyond it. Shame can paralyze your spirit, making you feel unworthy of love and joy. Yet, when you realize that it's just an emotion, not a permanent state, you free yourself to embrace the love and happiness you deserve. Shame thrives in silence, feeding off of our reluctance to share our truths. The moment we speak it aloud, we break its hold and reclaim our power, transforming vulnerability into strength. In the face of shame, we often shrink, hiding from the world and even ourselves. But true liberation lies in standing tall, embracing our flaws, and accepting that we are worthy of love exactly as we are. Your feelings of shame are not a reflection of who you are, but rather of the stories you've been told. You can rewrite that narrative anytime you choose, shedding the weight and stepping into the fullness of your authentic self. Shame tries to convince you that you're unworthy, but the truth is that your worth is inherent. It's not tied to your mistakes, your failures, or the opinions of others. You are enough, just as you are. The shame we carry often becomes a wall between us and our happiness, but walls can be broken. The first step to freedom is understanding that you are deserving of joy, love, and acceptance, regardless of your past. Shame often disguises itself as regret or guilt, but at its core, it is a lie. You have done the best you could with what you knew, and now, with new wisdom, you can choose to forgive yourself and move forward. We live in a world where shame is often thrust upon us, but it is not our inheritance. The truth is that we are born whole, deserving of love, and capable of growth. Do not let shame steal your light. Shame tells you that you are flawed, unworthy, or less than others. But what if shame is a teacher, reminding you to embrace your imperfections, learn from your mistakes, and find the courage to rise above them? In a world that celebrates perfection, it is easy to believe that shame is a necessary companion, but the most beautiful souls are those who embrace their scars, knowing that it is through them that we grow stronger and wiser. Shame lives in the stories we tell ourselves, feeding off of our doubts and insecurities. When we choose to silence that inner critic and replace those stories with compassion and acceptance, shame loses its power. The weight of shame is often rooted in the fear of judgment or rejection. But the truth is, when we allow ourselves to show up as we are, we attract people who will love us for the real, unfiltered version of ourselves. It's not the mistakes that define us, but how we rise from them. Shame might try to hold us back, but the power to overcome it lies in our ability to forgive ourselves and move forward with a heart full of hope. In the presence of shame, we often hide our most authentic selves, thinking that we are unworthy of love or acceptance. But when we shed that shame, we allow ourselves to be seen for who we truly are: beautiful, flawed, and whole. Shame can feel like a burden too heavy to bear, but it is not permanent. It can be released, forgiven, and transformed into wisdom that guides us toward a more compassionate and fulfilling life. Every person carries shame in some form, but the difference between those who are trapped by it and those who are free is the willingness to acknowledge it, learn from it, and let it go. Shame is not a reflection of your true worth, but rather a product of past experiences or societal expectations. The real you beneath all that shame is pure and worthy of love, success, and happiness. Shame thrives when we keep it hidden, but when we bring it to light, we take away its power. You are not your mistakes, and by embracing your vulnerability, you give yourself permission to heal. Shame often holds us in a place of isolation, convincing us that we are alone in our struggles. But when we speak our truth, we find that others share similar experiences, and together we can heal and grow. When you let go of shame, you make space for self-love, growth, and transformation. You realize that your past does not dictate your future, and you have the power to create a new, empowered version of yourself.